When you think of Detroit, what do you think of? But Detroit is also this. And it's this. In fact, once you get past all the headlines about the nation's largest municipal bankruptcy, you'll find that there's a lot more to Detroit.
This is On the Rise Bakery.
And what is different about On the Rise Bakery than your average community bakery?
Well, what's different about On the Rise Bakery, it deals with homeless guys, you know, and we are supported by the Capitals and the Catholic Pastoral Alliances. And me personally, I had been incarcerated for about 33 years, on and off. And when I got out of prison, I was 58 years old, you know, and a lot of people told me, you know, you got one foot in the grave, nobody's going to really hire you. But I thank God that I was able to go to the Capture Soup Kitchen. I had captures there, and as a result, I was able to get a job, and that was 7 years ago.
You've been working here 7 years.
Right. I've been a productive citizen for the last 7 years, but I'm thankful for the Catholic faith. I'm also thankful for the Catholic Pastoral Alliances. I'm thankful for the volunteers. You know, we actually have over 50 volunteers that support us. You know, right? We got over 50 volunteers that support us. We wouldn't survive without them.
How many guys work here?
Well, we got five managers, and we have 7 guys that are homeless that stay in a shelter that's connected to the bakery. And since we've been open, we had a little over 60 guys come here, and only 2 went back to prison, so we got a pretty good turnover.
So it's Earthworks Agriculture training program, and that is a collaboration between the Capuchin's Soup Kitchen and Gleaners Food Bank of Southeastern Michigan. And with this program, you get hands-on training. Like when I say hands-on, you're on the farm, you're pricking, you're seeding, you're doing all the things that a man or a woman needs to know in order to grow his or her own organic healthy food, which is from vegetables to fruits to even doing composting, all the way, and even some seed saving.
And today you guys were talking about
bees,
hiving, huh?
Yes.
Beehiving.
Talking about bees. I used to be scared of bees, but with the program, I'm learning now that it's not as bad as...
How important those critters are,
yes, it's not as bad as we think it is. And plus, see, bees not only provide honey, but they also pollinate. Yes. And without bees, we wouldn't have watermelons and squashes and apples and all these things.
Are you considering getting your own hive?
Not considering getting my own hive, but considering sharing a spot with a beekeeper.
Really?
And I think each gardener or farmer, it may be in his best interest to
maintain their own
space. Yes,
because there's so many dying off the last.
There you go. And so now, if each gardener or each farmer gives a corner, just a corner, for bees, not only will we get more bees to make more honey, but also think about how much vegetables we have.
They'll do all the work for us.
There you go.
Yeah,
and
you don't want to do that by hand.
That's what we need. And so all of this training, what it does is it uplifts the person. And so the training program is not only about food and growing vegetables, it's about growing people and also communities. Yeah. And so once you get into growing people, you find that this cause that we have is for the world. It's not just for Detroit. So,
how did you get involved in this? What got you excited about learning urban farming, right? You're going to be farming in your own community.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gardened with my father, my mother, and my granddads when I was little. So you know it all started there. And as you get older, you branch off, you find jobs and factories and different things like that. I got in touch with it because of 351782, which is a prison number. See, I went to prison, and during my stay in prison, I realized that sitting here, I'm no good to anybody. So what can I do when I come home that's going to be for the good of all humanitarians? And that's farming. And that's why I got into it.
So what do you hope for the future? Are you going to try and be one of these urban farmers?
Well, I am an urban farmer.
You are already.
I am an urban farmer. I don't own a farm, but I have a mini farm in my backyard. I helped my mom create a mini farm in her backyard. And so that's what urban farming is really about. It's about taking your own house, your own land, wherever you're at. If you got a spot, corner, you got containers, you can do container gardening, you can do raised bed gardening. Seniors can raise their beds up 4 feet, you know. So it doesn't stop just at a farm. You know, it's on your porch, it's on your back porch, it's in your backyard. It's your neighbors, you know, collaboratively starting to farm together. And then that allows us to have food, not only in my backyard, but yours too. You may be good at growing tomatoes, I may be good at growing cabbage. Let's trade.
So you also creation of a market, quite literally. Yeah.
And that's what it's really about.
So you come here, and Earthworks helps you guys in skills development, you know.
Yeah, skills development, and also, yes, one thing I have to say about Earthworks, it's like justice. You see, because they didn't have to accept me in the program. They could have said, oh, you got a prison number, you've been to jail. No, we don't want you. No, it's not like that here. Everyone has this chance. You know, all you have to do is show initiative, and this is something that's in my heart that I really want to do for the community and for the world. And if you're ready to fight for food sovereignty, food justice, you're welcome here.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it, you know, I mean, to give you from my heart on what I feel.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Because I've grown tremendously since I've been here. And I still have, 3 months to go. And it goes from March to November.
Yeah.
So think about it, high tunnels, greenhouses, actual farm work. These things, it's the sand or teach a man to fish, and you know, it's just like that.
Yeah.
Because the knowledge that you get here, you can share it all over the world. You can
and that's sort of what they're hoping.
Yes, you can take it everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing.
So, the 2 meals together, breakfast and lunch, we served about 450 meals.
And I saw a lot of single adults. Do the families come to this?
Well, this kitchen here generally serves mostly elderly and mental people that comes here. Families, very few families. Our other kitchen, because of where it's located at, they cater to more families.
What would these people be doing if they didn't have this sort of safety valve, I guess, of this kitchen to rely on?
Well, for the most part is that they make a distinction whether to pay their bills or food. And so because of that, they could save on not paying for meals and probably cater to their monies to someplace else. I mean... So
this is sort of a crucial support.
Absolutely, absolutely. Most of them would probably, because we have a lot of homeless men that come here, and so if there would depend on whether they would put their finance in, if it was not for the kitchen, I mean, it's just a very, very crucial part. Just if you take this out in the bankruptcy, they wouldn't have anything.
Yeah.
And so, you know, not to feel left out. A lot of people they think that they have been forgotten about because their attention's on other things and not them per se. Maybe those from 19 on up, we have saw a lot of those that have started coming here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just no jobs for young people.
No jobs. A lot of them come from prison and maybe don't know where to go, and the only place to get a meal that they come here.
Yeah.
And so see what other services that we can offer for them.
Detroit Catholic Pastoral Alliance, and we're looking at some of the properties behind Chris there that has been developed by the Alliance. Chris, can you tell me a little bit about the houses we're looking at?
Well, we built some new single-family houses in the neighborhood, and basically our objective was to try to recreate the existing urban fabric that originally existed in the neighborhood, building on 30-foot lots and trying to create some density that once existed in the neighborhood, using certain architectural details that fit in with the existing houses in the neighborhood.
And what was going on here before you built these houses? What was happening to the neighborhood?
There were a lot of vacant lots. There were, there were some houses that were becoming vacant, and basically we were trying to step in as a nonprofit and trying to prevent that trend from continuing and to work on stabilizing and strengthening the physical fabric of the neighborhood. When we started back in '97, it was clear that there was some intervention that needed to happen by a nonprofit in order to stabilize and strengthen the neighborhood.
So how many houses has the Alliance built back here?
These are 4 of 16 new houses, new single-family houses that we've built. We've renovated quite a bit of other single-family houses, all that we've sold to low and moderate income home buyers. All, working families that generally make $30,000 to $40,000 a year. They've got a mortgage note just like any other homeowner, and they've all taken really good care of their houses since they've moved in.
So people are familiar with hearing stories of abandonment and diminishment here in Detroit. Are you trying to counter that narrative with these kinds of developments?
We are, and we're doing it in a way that we're thinking about, well, what's going to keep people in the city? Why are they going to want to stay in the city, or why are they going to want to move back to the city? And mostly that's by recreating an urban neighborhood that offers something more than the suburbs where people might otherwise move out to. So, trying to create density and walkability and mixed uses and accessibility to public transportation and parks and things of that nature.
And jobs as well, I guess.
And jobs as well, yes. It's a key component is jobs coming back to the city and finding ways to get people transportation to the jobs.
We need more older examples for the younger guys, I mean, the way I was living, they couldn't really respect me. And I'm going to them for what I needed to live, what I thought I needed to live. How can you respect your elder if he coming to you instead of you being able to go to them? So, I mean, I take my share of blame for a lot of the situations that they may find themselves in. It's not being an example, what I'm saying, to them. I had a lot of good examples when I was growing up that I chose to ignore. But it seemed like most of the young guys in the city now, they want leadership. They want leadership and they want a chance. I tell you like this here, it shows the character of Detroit. Our organization, private organizations like this is stepping up to help the public, and the big corporations are stepping up to help the city by buying police cars and stuff. It shows the character of Detroit to me. I mean, I can always look at the bad part, but why look at the bad part when I can focus on the good part, I mean, it's got to be a big boost to the police force. They're getting a lot of new cars. EMS, they're getting a lot of new trucks. So the big corporations stepping up. And then you got the Catholic Alliance and you got the Cabbages. They stepping up for us on the private sector. You see what I'm saying? They building up neighborhoods. You see that right there? They building up neighborhoods. They haven't stopped since I've been with the organization. Yeah. And they don't hesitate to give a man a second chance. They don't hold nothing against him. They don't judge.
For me, coming from a larger city as Los Angeles, I was devastated of the things that I saw here. I never saw abandoned buildings or block after block of things that were the way they were. I am a client myself. I used to come here as well. My life too as well was not going anywhere. I would come here, use their services, and so I know what it means to be homeless. I was homeless, sleeping in an abandoned building. I know what it is to be there. And so for the guests to come here, I try to reach out to show them care, concern, love, and compassion, because that's what was showed to me when I came here. I am an employee here. I have been working here going on 10 years. Yeah. Had never had any stability of stable of working anywhere for that long period of time. Yeah. And so it did. It helped me to get my life back on track. I mean, there's many things. I actually first bought my first home 3 months ago, married to a wonderful wife. And so my life has really, I'd say, has been on the uprise. And so what I try to do is give encouragement to others to let them know that there is hope.
Yeah. Spirit of the people of Detroit, is it still strong?
I think the spirit of the people of Detroit, they are fighters. and keep going on. This is the Motown, the Motor City, and you know, it was built on the backs of the automotive center. That is coming back, the automotives, and so they're actually asking for a lot of more jobs too as well. But how do we get those people that need to fill those jobs where they're qualified to work in that? And so that's job training.
Yeah.
And so I do see some positive things, yes.
I'm here on a pretty bad day for Detroit. You know, bankruptcy seems to be going through. How do you find hope in these difficult times for this city?
Well, hope is this. Hope is you looking at it. You see?
Yeah.
That's hope.
Yeah.
The choices that we make, it may be only for that moment, or for that couple of years, maybe 5 years. It takes everybody a little longer, you know, to get what they need for their life than some others. Some are born in a nice home. You have food, you have, you know, everything you need, and some people are born and they have nothing. So they have to take that walk, you know, through life in order to find out what it is. You can't just wake up, oh, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna be a farmer, or I'm gonna be a welder, and it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
It takes training, there's discipline, there's sacrifices, and that's what this city is going through right now. They're mad at, you know, bankruptcy and all this different stuff. It's just a sacrificial statement right now we're having to make. And so people really have to look inside their city that's already here in order to know what they need to do to fix it.
Yeah.
Can't come from outside, because outsiders, they don't really know what's going on. So it's the people that's here, and the people that with the programs, Gleaners, you know, Capuchin Soup Kitchens, and, you know, Greener Detroit, Keep Growing Detroit. You have all of these different entities out here that's really trying to do this. But trying is one thing. We're actually doing it.
Yeah.
And so that's what's going to turn the city back around.
All right.